now, preview time. So let's take a look at what's coming your way.
Amid the California flora, I'll be lighting my menorah. Like a baby in his cradle, I'll be playing with my dreidel. Well, this isn't Hanukkah in Santa Monica as I am in Victorville. But welcome each and every one of you guys once again to another brand new installment of Renegades Reviews, exclusively here as always on the Casa D18 Studios YouTube channel. I, of course, am your host, the Renegade J.J. Williams, thanking each and every one of you for coming back here and joining me in the theater. And as I said, this isn't Hanukkah in Santa Monica. Our story today takes place in the fictional California city of Sol Viejo, but more on that in a moment. As all of you guys know, I've been doing a soft reopening of Renegades Reviews ahead of my big relaunch on the first of the year, and of course, we all know there's no shortage of Christmas movies each and every year, thanks to Netflix originals and the Lifetime and Hallmark movie channels. However, there are very few Hanukkah films, but I did manage to find 8 movies to discuss. So as the sun goes down on the 6th night of the Festival of Lights, allow me to discuss a film called Menorah in the Middle, which was released on November 4th, 2022. And I believe it was a Lifetime original film. It stars Lucy DeVito, Jonah Platt, Christian De La Fuente, Adam Bush, Bruce Nozick, and Gina Hecht, and was directed by Jordan Kessler. Now, as our movie opens, Sarah Becker, played by Lucy DeVito, is heading home to visit her family for Hanukkah with a surprise. She's engaged. Sarah's non-Jewish fiance, Chad, played by Christian De La Fuente, gets a pop quiz on the flight to Sol Viejo on everything Hanukkah and Becker family related. The quiz certainly is not as easy as he would like, but again, nothing comes easy for anyone about to marry into a Jewish family. It's not long before arriving back home that Sarah learns that the bakery might have to shut down. It's been a nice run, but nobody wants it to end. Making matters worse is that her dad, Frank Becker, played by Bruce Nozick, ends up in the hospital almost as soon as Hanukkah begins. Now, Chad comes from the world of finance, and as such, he genuinely seems to want to help the family out whatever ways possible. His plan? Marry Sarah, take over their mortgage. However, while back in town, Sarah has been hanging out with her childhood best friend, Ben, played by Jonah Platt. They have history, but everything seemed to change after her grandmother died. Ben realized this, and so he kept his distance. Sarah went off to college, and Ben became a travel photographer. In fact, he moved back to Sol Viejo just about a year before Sarah came home for this particular Hanukkah holiday. Unfortunately, like many cities, the small businesses in town are struggling. For the bakery, the next generation has moved out, and it's tough keeping a Jewish family-owned bakery alive with aging customers. All hands are on deck, though, when the Beckers need to raise $40,000 in order to pay their bank payment. Sarah and Ben end up with marketing duties, and between his photos and her food blog, Blended Like Becker, the two go straight to work. They also phone some of their old Camp Shalom network of childhood friends in order to try and drive a business. It doesn't take a fool to notice what's happening between the two of them. With all the phone calls and the advertising in order to save the bakery, the Baum sisters, Rachel and Becky, played by Sarah and Laura Silverman, end up getting a phone call from their mother. You see, the Baum sisters grew up to be cooks after falling in love with the arugula at the Becker family breads. Frank is even always bragging about how they used to stop by the bakery every day. After receiving the call from their mother, they swing by the bakery on the final night of Hanukkah, which also happens to be when the mortgage payment is due in order to save the establishment. Thanks to a hefty back payment for all of those free rugulas over their childhood, Becker Family Breads is saved. 1 year later, the bakery is thriving. Sarah's brother Jacob, played by Adam Bush, has been offered and accepted a job working for the Baum sisters. Sarah and Ben are expecting a child, and our movie comes to its close. Despite being released in 2022, as I've stated with all these other Hanukkah movies I've been discussing, never seen it. This year is completely new to me when it comes to Hanukkah films. The only one I had ever seen before was 8 Crazy Nights, which is how we will end the Hanukkah holiday on the 8th evening. Of course, I've discussed on multiple occasions how holiday movies get held to a different standard. Why? How they're formulaic. I even pointed it out during this review. Even more so than your traditional rom-coms. But as long as I was entertained, that's the important thing with these films. With any film, if we're being honest. We can all admit holiday films are void of depth when it comes to their plots because they want you to believe in the impossible. They want you to believe in miracles. There are, of course, exceptions to every rule. And when you find an exception to holiday movies, you've truly found a gem. This film doesn't possess that depth, but it doesn't prevent it from being enjoyable. I thought there was a solid chemistry between Sarah and Ben. And just like all these rom-com and holiday movies, it made you want to root for them. You could tell they had feelings for each other and that for whatever reason, they had never really been acted upon. It gave off a certain charm and adorability factor. I'm not going to lie. Even though we all knew things would work out in the end, as is the tradition with these films, when the Baum sisters came into the bakery at the end, started to reminisce about their youth, and Frank giving them the rugulas and everything and how it inspired them to be cooks, I shed a tear or two. When it comes from my rating of this film, all of that being said and kept in mind, I give it 4 out of 5 stars. It was solid. But enough about my opinion. What did you guys think of Menorah in the Middle? Have you seen it before? Let me know. Leave your thoughts in the comments below and let's have that conversation, that discussion, that debate, that discourse, those interactions, the engagement that I'm always trying to get out of you, my loyal viewers. And I believe this one was on Disney Plus, if you'd like to watch it and give it a shot. But until next time, when we return to the theater for another brand new episode of Renegades Reviews, exclusively here as always on the Casa D18 Studios YouTube channel, I have been your host, the Renegade J.J. Williams, thanking each and every one of you for joining me and tuning in. I will catch you guys next time.